Good morning, everybody. Thank you for being here today. If you will, like, share, comment on the post. And then, if you like, you can join me in the beginning of Genesis chapter 32 as we continue on the saga of Jacob. Verse 1 says, Jacob went on his way, and the angels of God met him. And when Jacob saw them, he said, "This is God's camp." So he called the name of that place Mahanaim. Jacob is he's kind of between a rock and a hard place. He can't go back to Haran. He and Laban have made an agreement. He can't go back there. If he goes home, Esau, as far as he knows, it's been 20 years, but as far as he knows, Esau still wants to kill him. And I think most of us can probably feel Esau's pain. Jacob has stolen a fortune from Esau. He has taken the family's birthright, the family's blessing, which involves the inheritance that we've already talked about. He deceived his father. Just been pretty much a mess. And so again, Esau, flew hot, and he wants to see his brother dead. Because of that, Jacob had fled to Haran, been there again for 20 years. His mother had told him that, "I'll send you a message. I'll let you know if Esau ever cools off and it's safe to come home." And Jacob hadn't got that message. So again, he knows he can't go back to Haran, and he's pretty sure he can't go back home. So he really doesn't know what to do. He's again between kind of a rock and a hard place. And to make matters worse, God has told him to go back to the promised land. He has been given direction: go home, go back to that land. But if I go back, does Esau want to kill me? If I go back there, what's Laban going to do? He has he is reaping the fruit of his labor. He has certainly been the cause of the majority of his own problems. What will Esau do? What will Jacob say to Esau? Can they ever be reconciled? And what I'd like for you to walk away from these verses with, and we'll continue on in the story, obviously, of Jacob and Esau and what happens when they come together. But notice a couple things. Jacob is going back to where God told him to do. So first of all, Jacob is doing what God had instructed him to do. Second of all, he's going obviously with the plan, hopefully, of being reconciled with his brother. When he does that, the Bible says the angels of God met him. I think the lesson for us there is to remember that God blesses reconciliation attempts. It doesn't mean they're easy. Doesn't mean that there's not some pain involved. It doesn't mean that they're not hard. If you've ever tried to mend fences, as we call it sometimes with someone, it can be quite difficult. And sometimes maybe the relationship never will be exactly the same. But there, as much as possible, as the New Testament tells us, as much as possible, live in peace with all men. And again, we see here Jacob, I believe, receiving a clear indication from God that reconciliation, that mending the fence with Esau was certainly in God's design. And I think that's the case in all of our disagreements and problems with others. God's design, we're called as believers to be peacemakers, make peace. When we make peace, the imagery there, the idea is that we are creating something that wasn't there to begin with. When you make a cake, you take the ingredients. That cake wasn't there, no form of that cake was there. But you take the flour, the eggs, the milk, the shortening, the sugar, etc. You take the ingredients and you make something where there was nothing. And as believers, we're called on to be peacemakers, to make peace. Now, I would challenge you today to allow God to open your eyes, to reveal to you. Pray that He would. Is there anyone in your life, anyone in your past, maybe way back in your past, that you need to make peace with? You think about it. Have a good day. We'll see you here tomorrow morning.